it's raining, like properly so. And if you've been following the farm this year, you will know that apart from a few short showers earlier this month, we've had no rain since March. And so the forecast is for almost an entire day's rain, and it is glorious. So we're just going to take a few seconds to enjoy this marvel and this mysterious weather that Suffolk doesn't seem to ever have. Now I've said that, of course, it'll probably rain every day all winter. And come the spring, I'll be desperately flooded. But for now, I'm just enjoying the welcome, fresh hydration to the land and hopefully to the ponds that this weather brings me. It really is quite the relief to have had that rain. And it's weird because it feels like the rain brings now this new season of growth, which is actually completely contradictory because we're actually heading into winter. So the new season is the cold season where things don't grow. But the plants are all a bit confused and my head is all a bit confused. But plants are coming back to life. We're just going to check on our bees and make sure they've got enough food. Now my bees are pretty calm, so I don't mind doing this without a bee suit on, because all I'm actually doing is just checking whether they've got enough food in here, which they do. And this is just a fondant made up by food. You can see how many wasps. There's more wasps than bees. And the problem at this time of year, of course, is queen wasps are throwing out all of their workers because they're going off to hibernate, and the workers are then searching for food. And they come into the hives and they try and steal honey. This is also a new setup hive, so I only got my nuke back in May. So the colony is quite small, which is why I'm having to supplement feed them throughout the winter so they've got enough stores. Hopefully next year I won't have to do it as much because they'll have a much bigger colony to go out and make their own food. Get out, wasp. Shoot. You can actually see here there's a wasp trying to get in and the bees are trying to pull it out and it's trying to sting them. Now if I can get its head, I'll squish it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Die! There. I've been doing quite a lot of this of late. Just coming down to the beehive and squashing wasps to try and save my bees, because of course the bees only get one sting and then they're dead, where the wasps get multiple. So I'm trying to do my little bit for to help the bees. There is also this bee guard, so normally this whole guard wouldn't be in here. You'd have this hole slit open, but at this time of year when you've got lots of wasps trying to raid, look, there's a wasp there. If you put a smaller gap in, it helps the bees protect a smaller area. Blimmin', look at them all, look at all these wasps. I'm gonna go on a kill. I've got to say, it's a bit worrying how many wasps there are. And there's quite a lot were actually coming out of the hive. So they've obviously already got in. But I don't know what else I can do. You know, the bees are fed, so they've got lots of food. They shouldn't starve. I've covered that hole. Maybe I'll make the hole even smaller. Actually, that might be a good idea, with just some twigs or something. Just so they've got a smaller gap to defend. And I'll just have to hope that soon the wasps will die and the bees can settle down. Rainy evenings are also the perfect time for a little bit of creative work, and I finally got the full 12 images for the calendar. So here they are. It was pretty hard to whittle them down to just 12, I have to say. But they are the 12 images, and if you want to get your 2023 Brimwood Farm calendar, I've put a link just in the description below for you. Every day of late, I pop across to the pond that we're renewing and revitalizing, and I hope to see some standing water. And there is none as yet. But perhaps this few days of rain now will actually start to make a difference. Saying that, I am just going to hop down into the pond because there is a little hole that Jock dug. So obviously that goes down even further. We're just going to see if there's any moisture in that. I mean, look at the cracks. The pond was so dry it cracked. But let's go. I mean, it's a little bit more mushy underfoot. Is there anything? Is this the water table? Possibly, or it could just be a puddle. But, you know, we can hope. Also, now that I've mucked the barn out enough to put like a little comfy bed in there, I'm going to move Eve in just at nights. Because as it was hammering down this morning, I suddenly thought, oh gosh, wouldn't it be my luck for her to have kidded outside overnight and there to be hypothermic kids on the ground. So I'm going to leave her out in the day, but I'm going to bring her into a nice bedded area at night, which I can also put a camera on. Now I should say her udder has not bagged up in any way yet. However, the past couple of days she's been a lot more sedate. She's been off her feet a lot more, lying down, sleeping a lot more. And I think, or I hope, that means we are entering kind of the last bit of heavy pregnancy. Her weight seems to inflate and go up and down. But I was looking back in my calendar and she did actually kid last year in November, mid-November. She sadly lost that kid. It was a stillborn. But maybe her seasonal coming into heat follows that pattern. And so she is obviously heavily pregnant now and we're heading towards November. So fingers crossed the end of the road may be in sight. Though I'll probably be telling you in December that she's still not popped. But you know, she keeps me on my toes. I think it was only a week ago that I put those spring flowering glads into the soil. However, it's been warm, it's been wet. I'm not the most patient of people, so I want to have a quick look how they're doing. Now, I'm not really expecting any green tips to have appeared, but I'm wondering whether there might be a little bit of root growth already. So we're just going to lift up, and you probably shouldn't do this, but you know, pulling out a couple of bulbs when they first been put in is not a major deal. Look at that! We have got little roots. Let's put that back. Well, it just goes to show that actually you can still get some really nice growth in the autumn as long as it's not frozen and you do get some rain. And in fact, our lettuces that we popped out here in the flower patch, because there was nothing here, they are actually doing really well. We've still got some straw flowers coming through, we've still got some dahlias, we've got loads of cosmos, and we've still got some little tiny zinnias. And holy moly, I've just looked down here and thought how weedy it was, and I realised These are all cornflowers. Good Lord. I never got round to cutting the cornflowers down, and they have they have seeded themselves manically. So I'm not going to weed these up. That's next year's crop. How wonderful. The bees are brand new to the farm this year, so don't miss this video when they first arrived.